Okay, welcome back, everybody. We're here for episode 6 of Charity Season, and we've made it. We're at hometowns. We're at the final 4, and let's go. Okay, so we started at Houston with Aaron, and here we have leg wrap number 1. Now this similarly to the country music thing that they do is super cringe to me. I wish they wouldn't do it. There's 4 of these leg wraps this episode, and I think it's 4 too many. I don't like seeing it. It's like it's too much PDA, and it's also that she does it to each of them. It's yucky. Not slut shaming. I just don't like. I don't really like PDA. As previously stated, I don't even like holding hands, so just my opinion. Okay, so Aaron reveals that it's been 10 years since he's introduced somebody to his parents, and actually at one point his dad says, "I've always said I don't want to hear about any of your girlfriends or your boyfriends. If you're serious, bring them home, but otherwise I just don't even want to hear of it." It's just kind of a weird, I don't know. It's a little peek behind the curtain. And Charity says that she is the furthest behind with Aaron. The door opens, and this is a really nice family. You can tell they really love each other. The mom has cooked all this food. She cooked up fried lobster, catfish, green beans, gumbo. It looks really good. Charity says, "That's the way to my heart. You know the way to my heart." The little brother, Edward, talks to Aaron, and they just pretty much sit and express their love to each other. It's really cute. They both kind of cry. The brother says, somebody's chopping onions out here. I'm going to say that. I'm going to use that. Charity sits with the mom, and I love the way Charity, she does it a few times throughout this episode when she's talking to the mothers. The mothers ask her a question, and she says, "Yes, ma'am." There's something so endearing about the way Charity says "yes, ma'am" to the moms. Charity sits with the dad. The dad says, "We kick, we scratch, we claw, we fight, we love, we hug." Then Aaron sits with his dad, and the dad says that Charity is a keeper. Aaron is touched, and he expresses to his dad that all he's ever wanted in his whole life is to make him proud. And he's been seeking approval for years, and his dad tells him that he's proud of him. And it's crazy that it took Aaron to go on a reality TV show and be the final 4 to tell his dad. That's what it took for him to tell his dad that he wanted him to be proud of him. So, at least when Charity dumps him, he'll have had this moment. I think that makes it worth it. I truly do. Then they did their parent date before they did their real date. Usually it's flip-flop the other way around. So after they go meet the family, they go to a football field. He gives her a Letterman jacket with her name on it. He has a matching one. He says he's falling in love with her. She says this is her Friday Night Lights fantasy. Clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose. Charity is crying. And I think she's crying because she knows that she's going to have to let Aaron go. And she knows that, like, sometimes when somebody loves you so much or really cares, you can feel when somebody cares about you so much, you're like, oh, I shouldn't throw this away, even if you know it's not quite right. And I think that's what's happening here. She's like, in the back of her mind, she knows it's not quite right. But when someone cares about you and is telling you that they love you, it's like, yeah. Like, kind of like when Aiden proposed to Carrie in Sex and the City. Somebody gets on a knee, they say they want to spend their life with you. You say yes. But we're not in Sex and the City. We're on The Bachelorette, so somebody's got to go. Okay, now we're in Collegeville, PA with Joey, and we get the hug straddle number 2. Ugh. And she says she's falling for Joey, and if everything goes well, she's going to tell him. He takes her to the tennis court and says that he's going to teach her tennis, and he does. And he seems like he's a very good teacher, very patient. They're having a great time. She says that she's melting and giggly around him, and that she just turns into a little schoolgirl. But then the uncle comes And he's a little bit, his energy, he's definitely a Pennsylvania guy. Like, he's definitely very sarcastic and keeps you on your toes and not necessarily forthcoming with praise. The praise comes, you know there's love there, but the praise comes in the form of a sarcastic, degrading joke. is kind of the Pennsylvania way. Charity expresses to Joey that she's nervous. She's never met a white family. Like, she's never, like, in a romantic, like, she's never been brought home by a boyfriend to meet a white family. She's nervous. Oh, then I saw it cut to commercial, and they showed a commercial for a car that parallel parks itself. Crazy. Okay, so we go, we meet, the door opens, the mom is crying immediately, and he has a bunch of sisters. The mom sits with Joey, and she is kind of too much crying. It's a little bit unhinged. It's kind of like the kind of crying my mom does, to be honest. It's like you end up having to console them kind of a little bit too much. It is what it is. The uncle thinks Joey isn't being genuine, and that he says that Joey is a people pleaser. And the uncle is actually very nice. The trailer made him seem like he wasn't that, like he was being really tough, but he wasn't. And actually, I think that Joey is holding back because just in his uncle's, I think what his uncle is picking up on is that Joey, in his uncle's presence, holds back because his uncle is seemingly his father figure, because the father is nowhere to be found in this episode, and he kind of he wants his approval, and so he gets nervous, and maybe that's what his uncle was picking up on. Maybe it has nothing to do with Charity, because Joey keeps saying that he's in love with her. So I was disappointed that we didn't see Joey's real dad, but I guess he just wasn't serving cunt in the way that the uncle was. You really sometimes you need a straight man to serve the best cunt on The Bachelorette. Anyway, Joey says he's falling for her. She does not say that she is falling for him. She seems sad to go. She's crying. It's not a good sign. Joey picks up that there's something weird. She says that the night wasn't amazing. She said it wasn't super great, it wasn't bad, it was just good. So I need more information. It's like, was it just the uncomfortableness of the uncle saying that Joey wasn't being himself, or was something else not comfortable for her there? Is that really it? Because it seems like it's not that big of a deal. In the trailer upcoming, Joey says that he's a difficult person to be in a relationship with, which is like, yeah, everybody is. Every single person is difficult to be in a relationship with. I wish everybody knew that. Relationships are hard. They're messy. They're hard. They bring up all of your weird neuroses. Okay. Next, we're in Cleveland with Xavier. We get leg wrap number 3. Oh, and I wish every time I think of Cleveland, I think of Bone Thugs-n-Harmony. You know that song? Docking gap goes, walking jack moves, ready to pop you if we have to daily. Bailing but safe, do we make it and chill? Anyway, so the date is they go to a yarn store, and she meets her second white family of the week. She's in the yard store. It's really cute. This one lady says, "Don't be scared, it's just string." And this other woman is like, you can tell, like, knitting is so meaningful to her. She's like, gifting something that you've knit, it's like gifting a hug. It's like gifting a hug. It's like the tribunal of Hufflepuffs. And let me tell you, it is so attractive, not only seeing Xavier knitting, but like being comfortable around all these Hufflepuffs, and like also patiently teaching Charity how to knit. It's like, it's so attractive. He's so cute. The panties are coming off. Charity is still afraid of Xavier's fear of commitment. She walks into the home. There's instant chemistry with the fam. Charity talks to his sister, who tells Charity that he is seriously looking for a partner and that the last few partners he's had, he's taken it seriously, and the women are the ones who have kind of taken him for granted. And Charity relates to that because she was kind of taken for a ride in her last relationship as well. And then Charity sits with the mom and she asks, like, do you think he's ready? And she says he really wants to be a dad. And if he's expressing anxiety, I think it's just because of the short courtship, which it's like, how nice. That would be such a relief to just be like, yeah, he's just anxious because it's bad shit. Then the dad is with Zave, and he says that he just doesn't want it to be a frivolous relationship. And Zave asks his dad, how do you know it's the one? And he's like, you just feel it in your gut. Then, Zave says that love is definitely in the air. I thought that was so cute. And his dad says, trust and believe, trust and believe. It's all you can do in this life. And honestly, it made me like kind of emotional thinking about his mom with MS, like that he just loves her so much that he decided to start a career in medicine. It's like, because you really can't, like, seeing the family, like, you really see how much they love and care for each other, and God, it's just so touching. Also, his sister is beautiful. His sister Chelsea, I really liked her. She seemed cool. And I also noted that Xavier seems a lot more animated around his whole family. Like, the whole season he's been pretty hard to read, like pretty much he's been keeping it close to the chest on his face. And I think that in the house and within the competition, Xavier's not showing the feelings on his face as like a defense mechanism to like keep his self-preservation. And then I bet he's a lot more charismatic actually in person, like when he's more secure and like feeling comfortable, which is good to know and also makes sense. And big news, he is falling in love with her, and he tells her, and she says she is happy, and he says you deserve to be happy, and she doesn't want the day to end. And I think Xavier's the winner. Okay, but of course there's Dotun next. We go to Fresno, California, and I thought that Dotun lived in New York City, which maybe I thought there was footage from him in New York City. But maybe his family just lives in Fresno, or maybe I just got that wrong. But anyway, his parents are in Nigeria and they can't come, and his brothers and sisters will be there. It's a warm welcome. The grandma is cooking inside, and Charity tells them that her best friend is from Nigeria, so she's eaten Nigerian food before. And then the parents come in, and what a big surprise. Everyone is so happy, and it is so sweet. And let me tell you, these parents are beautiful people. And I was also like, remember, it's like so nice that they could come all the way from Nigeria, because remember just a little while ago when Gabby's dad came during COVID and he just held up signs and she stood in the doorway crying. It was so bleak. Okay, so Dotun tells his mom that he is falling in love with Charity. His sister tells Charity that Dotun, so now because Joey she got that little tidbit of hearsay from the uncle in Joey's family that Joey is not showing his genuine self. She's asking everybody if she asks all the family members if Dotun is being genuine. The sister says, yes, Dotun is being genuine. What you see is what you get. The dad tells Charity that Dotun is ready for this commitment. The brother tells Charity that Dotun is a very faithful partner. He never even looks at another woman when they're around. And again, she says, yes, ma'am, to the mom. The mom says the mom loves Charity as well. She says that Charity is adopted into her family as her daughter. If she chooses Dotun, she will embrace her with open arms. And then Dotun takes her out in a Thunderbird car. It's pretty sweet and cream colored. And they go to a drive-in movie theater. And they show a movie of the two of them, with like all these kids, like childhood pictures of them. But whoever made it, I don't get it. What is the production budget? Because they used the default font on like iMovie. Why? Anyway, the home movies are cute, and you may have noticed that we didn't get a leg wrap moment from Dotun and Charity, but there is a photo in the slideshow of her making out with him, wrapping her legs around him in the middle of the marathon parade in New Orleans. So that's number 4. We got all 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We got all 4 leg wraps. It's pretty disgusting if you ask me. Just kidding. I just don't like it. Okay. Anyway, she is crying, and Charity is always expressing delight, and she looks young, but she's also like, you can, because she's always like so delighted, and she's always saying that she's happy, or when she's sad, she's like, I'm sad, it's like very, not that she's childish, but it's like you can see her inner child coming out all the time, and it's my favorite part about her. I think it's so endearing, and just like also like seeing her childhood pictures, it's like, oh, like you can so clearly see that delight has like never gone away, even into adulthood, which I think is so special. Dotun is really into her, and he says he is very happy, and so I think he's gonna get his heart broken. Okay, so that's all of them. So if you have been following along, that's all 4 men are in, and some of their moms are in love with Charity. So she goes to sit down with Jesse Palmer, and he asks her if she has clarity, and she does not have any clarity. She's falling for all of them. They're all falling for her, and I kind of, it's like, yeah, maybe you are falling for all of them, but you know your horse. You know your horse, and she says she doesn't know, but I think she knows. So they're all at the airplanes. They're at the airplane hangar. They're gonna go take a PJ to paradise after breaking some hearts. They all come out of the limos one by one. Dotun says he feels deeply connected to her. Aaron is confident he wants and he says he wants the first damn rose off that table. Xavier says he sees a life with Charity. Joey tells Jesse that he is in love, and he regrets not telling Charity that he was in love with her, but he was a little concerned because she wouldn't even make eye contact with him and was crying the last time he said goodbye. So he's not feeling too good, which I don't blame him. Charity comes, and it must be cold in that airplane hangar because Charity looks freezing, and it's time for roses. Okay, rose number 1, Dotun. And oh man, the look on Aaron's face. He didn't get the first rose. He didn't get the second rose either. Either the second rose goes to Xavier. Doesn't get the third rose either. The third rose goes to Joey. R.I.P. Aaron. They sit on the bench. She walks him out. They sit on this bench. It's really rough. He says he's trying not to cry. He's like, I'm just trying to hold it in. And my God, I mean, the crushing weight of being a man, I don't envy it. I do not envy it. It physically hurts to stop yourself from crying. So I wish he could just let it out. Then he thanks her. Woof. And then in the car, he's letting himself tear up a little bit, and he says he doesn't know what he did wrong. And that is so sad. It's like, you didn't do anything wrong. It just wasn't the match. And then Charity says this is the most absurd shit she's ever done in her life. Which I think is so real. That is so funny. All right, so we've got 3 left going to Fuck Week, as Zach called it. No, it's not Fuck Week. It is Fantasy Suites. Fantasy Suites are going to deepen their connections in the privacy of their own hotel room. We've got Dotun, Xavier, Joey going. They're going to go to Fiji. We've got clips of Dotun saying he's in love. We know Joey's in love. Is Xavier in love? I think he is. I do think he will be the winner. And then there's also a surprise. Like, there's still that she, like, when she's like, I thought I just saw a ghost. He's not supposed to be here. I wonder if that's Aaron. Which, that'll be juicy. I can't wait to see the cringe. But I think that's pretty much it. Not a whole lot of drama this episode. The families were all just like very sweet, and they all loved each other very much. And one of the best parts about it is that Aaron got to find out that his dad is proud of him. And I think, once again, that makes this whole journey worth it. All right, that's it for me. Have a good week. Bye.